Tough game. Obviously this is a matchup I've been worried about here for a while, and I think I said this to a few people before the game, but Imani Watkins is one of the best mid-major guards in the country, and we had a really tough cover today. I thought Rachel did a really, really good job making her work. I thought when we were in the zone, we did a good job IDing her. That's a really tough cover. I brought up the Kelsey Minato name here. We haven't seen her for a while, but I think that was probably the best guard that we've seen since the Minato days. And really proud of the effort. What'd she shoot? 6 of 23. I thought she had some tired legs out there, and I think part of that was us making them work a little bit. So really proud of the effort there. And going to the zone. Obviously, they were making threes in the first half, and it's kind of one of those coaching things that a team's really hot from the arc. Are you crazy going to the zone? But I just really felt like we were going to be better covering the arc in our zone. And once we were active, I think they scored. When we went to the zone, I think they scored, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3 points in the first 8 minutes or so of the half, something like that. So really proud of that. Our kids pulled through that one. I think the two people you have up here played some really big minutes for us and made some big plays. AJ, we had some foul trouble in that first half, and she was going against some really good defenders today, and she held her own and really kind of led us on the offensive end during that second quarter. It was outstanding. Obviously made a few shots, and I think we saw a little fire out of Kate Walker today, and she's played well, maybe just hasn't showed up in the box score, but I'll give her a hard time afterwards. There's been some moments here in these first 5, 6, 7 weeks of the season where, without putting too much pressure on her, I think the kids looked like one of the best players that I've seen in this league. And she, as much as you're not supposed to talk about scrimmages, I saw a look in her eye during one of those early ones that I just haven't seen from anybody in a really long time. I think we saw that fire again tonight, and that was just really awesome to see. I think we're a different team when she's aggressive. Maybe got some tough breaks that maybe didn't get to the line a couple times. Thought maybe she deserved that in the first half. But just the aggressiveness that she showed early was really cool to see. The same thing I've seen that kid do for 5 years, being from the Chicago area and seeing her play. I mean, she's a really good player, and I think she complements the rest of that team very well. But I think you're right. I think obviously when you talk about Binghamton, the thing starts with a little bit of James inside, but really with Watkins. And teams only have so many outstanding defenders, and teams only have so many different schemes that you can put out there. Like I said, I thought we did a really good job on Watkins. If we don't do that and Moon's hot, then we're in some real trouble. But I think part of that was getting in some foul trouble, and she's just a tough cover. She was able to get to the basket a few times. She leaked out in transition. She hit some early shots, and all of a sudden you do that and kids start feeling it. I think the presence of James inside maybe bothered us more than I was hoping it would. I think we've been pretty good against her over the years. I thought we moved the ball really well. We have 12 made baskets in the first half. I think 11 of those had an assist. So we had a lot of easy open threes. Some of that was the zone they were playing. But I thought we took some quick ones. I thought we really felt like we could get some stuff at the basket. And if we started, kind of trying to not beat them up, but trying to get some stuff inside that would open up the outside, maybe this is also a product of hitting a few shots and feeling good about things. I think a lot of those twos were open, maybe a little bit quick, maybe not in the rhythm that maybe we could have had. Maybe if we pass up a few of those, maybe we get some easy ones, either more at the arc or more at the basket. So I think we got to take a look at that. But at the same point, I thought our players were aggressive, and that was really what we needed more than anything here tonight.
I definitely feel like I've been getting more comfortable. Like everybody has just been really helpful. And like understanding when I was out and when I was coming back, they were just like, okay, like this is what you missed. Like, here's what you need to do. And like even in games and on the bench, they help me out and just kind of give me that extra like push that maybe I need sometimes. But yeah, I definitely think it's getting like more comfortable. It's like flowing better, and that just comes with like playing more and then trusting your teammates. It was just in the flow. Like I remember just G-passing up the court, like just running offense. I wasn't really thinking about it, just playing basketball. Well, I definitely should probably practice that more in practice. But I just knew that everybody was like, they were like coming back to the ball, and if I needed like a pass up to Kate or something, it would be there. So I was just trying to keep my composure and like read the defense.
It felt good to us too, but that's just in our defense. We're supposed to be out denying the passing lanes, so the steal came pretty naturally within our defense. And then that's a new rule this year where they have to be going for the ball. So I think we all knew that rule. I'm not sure if they were aware of it, but yeah, it felt good. Kind of weird. I feel like you think about it like really nerve-wracking and just like scary, but when you're out there, it just comes natural. I think we got a lot of stops. I don't know if they went cold, but I'd like to credit our defense to that, going into the zone, and that just really helps our offense. So, yeah, I feel most comfortable when Kai is really creating for all of us, and she's being aggressive, so I think she really opened things up for me with a few three-pointers and then also just the drives. And when we have really good guards and quick guards, and they have to put their best defenders on Kai and whoever else is out there, and I get stuck with one of the bigger guards guarding me, I think that's always in my head, like, a good thing, because then I can drive more, and because normally I feel like I'm quicker than them.
We did. I think she took a different route to get there than maybe we were starting with. But she made a really good decision. I think we tried to get the ball in Kate's hand in the middle of the floor. And once that wasn't there, I think there was a little bit. I didn't think they'd foul, but there was a chance that maybe they would foul. So I felt like if the ball was in her hands, we'd be in good shape there. She kind of started to pull that thing out, and maybe just kind of in that interim, I think there was a 7-second difference maybe between the shot clock and game clock there. Obviously got the idea that they were going to play that thing out, kind of just in that sense of, all right, do you get the ball back to Gia? Do you kind of see what happens there? And lo and behold, there's a left drive, that slot drive. I thought Kate really had a few of those there in the first half too that I thought she did a really, really good job with. She was able to get strong and, got a call, but also obviously finished at the basket there too. To be honest with you, I thought Kai had a really great drive to the basket. I thought Slagus had a really good post up. I think those are, we talk a lot about the process. I thought Kai's was a pretty good shot. And maybe a little bit early, but that's the layup we were trying to get. If you have this layup, you're going to go. And if not, we're going to pull the thing out there and use some clock. Let's get the ball into the post. Let's get Slagus a touch. Did that. Maybe she had one more dribble there at that spot. But I thought our kids made good decisions. Maybe just the results weren't there. And I think that's maybe one of those times where you're just happy that you did enough to get the 4, 5, 6 point lead so you can weather those. If we didn't do some things earlier, then you got to play perfectly. And, I think the law of averages is going to take over. I think, obviously Kate finished there at that point. But I thought, to be honest with you, I thought our depth was huge tonight. They didn't play a lot of kids. They really played kind of 6, 7 kids. We played our kids a lot of minutes. I don't know how many kids were in double figures. Maybe we had 10 in double figures, 9 in double figures minutes. I thought they were tired at the end, to be honest with you. And that's nothing they did wrong. They were just shooting jump shots, and I thought they had to play a lot. And, our bench has been really good here, and I think that's something that doesn't show up. But at the same point, we were 22-2 on the bench scoring. That's a pretty big thing. And, that's been really one of the key components here the last 3 games. And that's something I noticed, that presence, especially in the zone. I actually meant to say that there in the open statement, because I think one of our assistants might have said something there in the first half that I thought we were okay on the boards, but just didn't really have that presence. I thought there was a couple other rebounds that maybe we could have gotten. I think a lot of those were on the defensive end for Romaine in the second half, but that allowed us to stay in the zone. I know we gave up a couple in the couple second chances there later. But it allowed us to stay in the zone. It allowed us to play the zone, which we wanted to do. Sometimes that can be hard to defend out of. I thought Ellie Mack did a really good job boarding, in the zone. I thought Slagus had a couple that she kept alive. And, I think even Kai ran down a few. That there were some of those turned into loose balls. All of a sudden, if you do something that works defensively and all of a sudden you can't rebound out of it, it kind of forces you to take a second look. And I thought, led by Romaine, the rebounding there in that stretch in the third quarter was awesome. We got them to miss some shots. We kind of limited them to one shot there.
I think we're excited for an off day tomorrow, but we all know that we have to be in the gym getting better, and we've kind of been resting our legs in practice a little bit, or just not going as hard as we normally do in practice. They're a little shorter. You don't normally do that. So I think that's going to be big for us, just kind of getting our legs back these next few days, but really going hard and making sure we're making improvements too.